there are so many realistic AI image generators like Ideogram, FLUX, Midjourney. Ideogram just released their upgraded version, Ideogram 2.0. So we're gonna put Ideogram and FLUX to the test by generating images using the same prompts. For those of you who don't know, FLUX and Ideogram both are trained models to generate images from given text input prompts. So what I'm going to do is head on over to ChatGPT and generate some prompts to feed both FLUX and Ideogram. I'm going to keep the theme about humans and their faces so the images that come out have facial feel to them. So once you have the prompts, go to Ideogram. All the links used will be in the description. The settings for Ideogram are quite simple. Model 2.0, visibility public. Also, I'm going to use FLUX with glyph.app. It's a website which allows user to use different versions of FLUX, like FLUX Dev Pro 1. I'm just going to Google and use the first one that pops up, no big deal. This is a user that already has generated some of the images using FLUX Dev. So what we're going to do is change the prompt and we'll get our results. Both of these websites as of right now are free to use. There are some limits to how many prompts you can enter per day. So using the prompt, a young man standing on the rooftop. Ideogram 2.0 produces an enhanced quality photo. It does look cartoonish. The FLUX and Ideogram produce more of a similar photo, a guy looking at the buildings, but FLUX produces more of a cartoonish photo. Maybe it might be because of the default settings of the user for the FLUX dev. I'll try changing some of the settings for the FLUX in the next prompt. So for the next one, I'm gonna go with an elderly gentleman with the deep wrinkles prompt, so the face gets focused on. So Ideogram produces this photo of an old bald man who looks kind of worried. You can see the lighting on his face, you can see the lighting in the background just blurred out. A good quality photo. However, FLUX produces more of a front end facing angle. The lighting shines on his face, shows the shadow, but does give it more of an animated look to it. Ideogram feels more realistic, to be fair, for this one. For the next one, let's go with a young girl who's laughing. These are quite realistic images. Not gonna lie, the background is on point, the colors are visible. For Flora, right off the bat, the picture kinda just looks animated. AI generated. I can't put my finger to it, but it seems kinda, I guess the skin tone, but I don't know what it is, but I guess the reflection. It looks a little bit more edited, a little bit more animated. So the next prompt, let's go with a Gothic mystery, a close-up of a young woman with pale skin, dark background. Quite sharp looking photo for Ideogram, quite creepy yet realistic. The colors are on point, the lighting kinda gives out that scary film poster look. The bird seems quite legit. For FLUX, a high quality good photo. The camera angle switched with this one, but that doesn't really matter. You can always adjust the camera angle with a little different prompt. But still, FLUX gives a little bit more professional look, whereas Ideogram feels a little bit more raw, a little bit more real. So for the last one, let's go with a close-up of a man's face with anxiety. Ideogram produces a really sharp photo, gives the close-up and a blurry city lights in the back. The eyes are filled with anxiety. FLUX, on the other hand, produces really sharp photos, but they look a little bit more odd, a little bit more professional, a little bit animated, a little bit edited. So I guess Ideogram 2.0 takes the lead for this one. However, FLUX produces realistic photos with low ranking adaptation, a model, LoRA. It's a fine-tuning model, which when used with FLUX produces really great photos, remarkable photos. Here are some of the results by some Reddit users using FLUX. So these images are all from FLUX by some other users. So trained LoRA of myself, 30 images. This user has trained the model with his face, and the results are just remarkable. With LoRA, even for this image, the background text TEDx is on point. It covers the area perfectly, leaves the rest. Celebrity photo for first glance I wouldn't know if this was AI generated or not. This looks like as real as it gets. This looks like straight out of a movie premiere. Again, for a low light image, this FLUX looks really sharp. These are all AI generated photos. There's no way anyone would be able to tell them apart. But well, for me, I think Ideogram, from what results I got, was the better of the two. Ideogram 2.0, more sharper, more realistic, but FLUX with LoRA, low ranking adaptation model, the images they show is pretty on point, quite realistic.